Hello, today's doujin is called Kanojo wa Boku no Taiyeki de Ugoite Iru, translated to She is Moving with My Body Fluids by Nagaraboshi. This doujin has 5 chapters. Codes for all 5 chapters are on screen now. The story begins with the introduction of Ishibashi Toru, a second-year student, and Hoshino Tami, another classmate. Hoshino is popular because of her looks and high academic scores, but is usually quiet, expressionless, and distances herself from other people. One day, Ishibashi gets called to the infirmary by the school nurse, Hoba Eri. He notes that it's the first time he's ever been called to the infirmary. As he makes his way to the infirmary, he sees Hoshino enter ahead of him. He follows after her, and Hoba greets him. She explains that she wants him to participate in her research as a tester. She says the research is related to energy and hasn't decided on a test period, but notes it won't take too long. She can't provide a reward, but can vouch for him in the school report. Ishibashi agrees to participate, and Hoba introduces Hoshino to him. She reveals that Hoshino is an artificial human automata, or humanoid android. Her virtual brain is mounted with an AI, and she is made of artificially made human parts. She explains that his task is to help maintain her and help her adapt to human society. She also states that there is a special material that allows biological material to be converted to energy to power her. The special material is nut juice. She can be powered by absorbing it through 2 locations on her, and this feature is still in the testing phase. To test it, Hoba wants Ishibashi to share his juice with Hoshino. Hoba explains that Hoshino is identical to a human, so there is nothing to worry about, and leaves the infirmary. Ishibashi is uneasy and explains it's his first time, but Hoshino reassures him that the steps have been implanted in her beforehand. They then proceed, and during the procedure, Hoshino is significantly more expressive than before. After, Hoba confirms that the special parts worked, so the test is to proceed. So from now on, Hoshino texts Ishibashi whenever she gets low on power, and he needs to share his juice with her. He asks her why he was chosen for this test, guessing that there must be something special about his juice, or if he was randomly selected. Hoshino says that neither was the case, and he was chosen because she loves him. Ishibashi thinks that she could have been programmed to say that and wonders if those words have any emotion behind them. The two come up with a signal indicating Hoshino needs juice. After a workout, she uses a lot of energy and usually needs to be charged. Ishibashi notes that Hoshino is emotionless again after recharging is done. While studying for exams, Hoshino consumes a lot of power, so she charges up in the library. While walking in the hall, Hoshino explains that the term exams are next week, and academic examination should be prioritized over the test, so the experiment is suspended until after the exam. She says that if she increases her food intake, she can operate normally without his juice. Ishibashi wonders about the importance of his role if she can get power from eating normal food. When exams start, he has trouble concentrating because he's always thinking about Hoshino. He's amazed at how focused she is during a test. It's revealed that Hoshino is also having trouble focusing. Her most recent checkup showed no problems, and her energy levels have been stable, but she still can't focus. Time runs out on the exam, and Ishibashi and Hoshino meet in the hall. She grabs his finger and begins licking it, and Ishibashi suggests they go to the infirmary. They go to the infirmary and recharge her. In the middle of recharging her, Ishibashi says he thought the test was paused until after exams. Hoshino says that is still the case, that what they're currently doing isn't part of the test, but between lovers. They end up doing it so much that they miss the next exam, and Hoshino falls asleep. Ishibashi is surprised at her request of demanding the act itself instead of the usual recharge. From a nearby roof, another girl is looking through the window of the infirmary, stating that Hoshino is her older sister. One day, Hoshino says that they've only ever recharged within school grounds, and because of this, it might eventually become stale, affecting the results of the experiment. She suggests that they go to Ishibashi's place, and they do. He is very nervous, and Hoshino asks where his parents are. He says that his parents are at work and usually return home very late. She says in that case they can spend all day recharging in his room. He notes that Hoshino is more expressive today. Afterwards, she declines his invitation to walk her to the station because she is embarrassed. She begins to leave, but turns around to give him a kiss. He notices that she left her phone in his room. He bumps into a different girl and apologizes. The girl asks if this is Ishibashi's place, and he says yes. The girl says that she's here to talk about Hoshino and asks if she can come in. Ishibashi accepts her request, and they talk inside. The girl says that she saw him and Hoshino enter the infirmary during the exam period well past the allowed break time and asks what they were doing in there. She says it's odd that they both frequently visit the infirmary. She then reveals that she knows what they've been doing in there and says it would be a problem if people found out. In exchange for her silence on the topic, she wants Ishibashi's juice. She then introduces herself as Kuga Run, the second Automatos unit. He cooperates and says he'll give it to her. Cut back to Hoshino walking around, and she realizes that she left her phone at Ishibashi's place. She contemplates whether or not she should go back and get it. Back at Ishibashi's place, Kuga is equipped with data collection sensor units because she wants to collect data. He donates his juice to Kuga multiple times, and suddenly Hoshino walks in on them and asks what they're doing. It cuts to Hoshino and Kuga talking on the school roof. Hoshino says that she heard that the second unit's trial started, but she didn't expect her to be an underclassman in the same school and blackmailing her juice provider. Kuga says that she just wanted to make sure of something, and Hoshino says she'll report this. Kuga interrupts her and says Hoshino has also broken the rules by exceeding the predetermined amount of daily juice intake. She says that Ishibashi is wasted on Hoshino and should be given to her. Hoshino objects, so Kuga has a proposal. Back with Ishibashi, he is worried that the incident is the end of his relationship with Hoshino when suddenly he gets a text from her to meet at the infirmary. He goes there and meets Hoshino and Kuga, who tell him that the two of them will compete to see who receives the most juice. He asks if this is really okay, and they reassure him that this is a problem between the two of them, and this is how they'll settle it. The three of them do the procedure, and the results are so close that they call it a draw. Ishibashi takes the time to apologize to Hoshino about giving his juice to Kuga before, but she says they're over it. She says she isn't bothered by who he gives his juice to because they're not lovers, but simply partners in a research. She continues that, however, she made the contract with him first, so if possible, she wants him to prioritize her. Kuga confirms that Hoshino is saying that it's okay for him to freely provide his juice to Kuga as well. Ishibashi then passes out from exhaustion. It cuts to Hoba, angry that they went overboard. She states that Hoshino and Kuga both received enough juice anyway, so they're now banned from any intakes for a week. Hoba says that she'll look after him, so they should both go home. She says to herself that for those two to be so obsessed with him makes her wonder. It cuts to Hoshino calling out to Ishibashi, who is spaced out. Kuga enters the room and says to stop making her wait. The three of them go to a love hotel to recharge. After, while Kuga is in the shower, Hoshino notices that Ishibashi is acting different. She says she'll listen if he talks to her. It then cuts to a flashback where Ishibashi is in Hoba's car. She says that she is bringing him somewhere nice for helping her with the experiment. She brings him to a hospital where she wants to do some tests on him to see if anything is wrong with his body. After the full body checkup, Hoba says there's one more thing she needs to check: his juice. She requests a fresh sample from him now, and he begins extracting it himself. He says it's difficult for him to do so without anything, so Hoba helps him out. It's revealed that Hoba has been studying the data and has been getting excited from it herself. She then gets the sample she needs, but they continue to extract more even after getting the required amount. Afterwards, in the car ride back, Hoba says there were no abnormalities from the tests. Ishibashi feels guilty giving his juice to someone else despite not dating Hoshino. Hoba suddenly reveals that the tests will end in a month. It cuts back to Ishibashi and Hoshino talking in the hotel room. Hoshino says that a new test is scheduled after this one, and all of her memories will be reset. She says she has no right to refuse this and thanks him for his help for the past few months. Ishibashi thinks about the situation and then asks her out on a date. Let me know what you think of this Doujin.